junior boarding school allows students to have the chance to be in an academic setting that is very similar to a secondary school in terms of its structure, in terms of its classes, in terms of the culture of a boarding school, meaning students have participation in a variety of activities. There's study halls, there's an advisory system, there's lots of organizational structure within a school day that is very similar to secondary schools, but it has a greater level of support because of their age. So junior boarding school is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for kids to have that extra level of readiness and preparation, sort of what's beyond, and then secondary school and university. And to be honest, life. Recently, this week, I had a board of trustees meeting, and we had 2 board members from the class of 1991 who were here at Bement and graduated from Bement, went on to Deerfield Academy and had great experiences there, and went off to college and university after their experience there. But they both said that it was their time at Bement that was most meaningful and most foundational. They think back to their times here at Bement and what was the common theme of the conversations with these 2 alums, but I hear this all the time, is that students were allowed to be themselves and allowed to discover their interests, and they were encouraged to try new things, and they were supported to make mistakes and figure out how to work that out. And those lessons that students learned about themselves and how to handle situations is what made then their experiences at Deerfield and other places successful ones for them. So at Bement, our boarding community is really special. Our boarding population is generally grades 6 through 9, but at Bement, we actually have boarders that come to us even in grades 4 and 5. That's unusual compared to some of the other junior boarding schools. So at Bement, there's only 50 boarding students, and that might feel really small when families hear that, particularly in comparison to some of the other junior boarding schools that are going to have larger boarding populations. But again, we have found and historically feel that to provide the family-like atmosphere for us to have that close supervision, that care, that love for the student body, we really wanted to keep it as a small population. But the boarders aren't just with the other boarders, they're with our day students. And so they have a real vibrant social community in which to draw friends and have peer relations, connections, and to do homework together and play sports together and do activities together. And in our dorm community, because it is 50 students, what we do is have smaller dorm configurations. So each dorm has 10 students in it. The students share a room with one other person, and they are individual dorm rooms in the dorm. And they've been recently built and renovated. They are beautiful green spaces for our students. They are spacious. All of the students, as I mentioned, just share a room with one other person. And then there's a common living space with a kitchen and a dining table and a comfortable seating area and fireplace and television for when our dorm might get together for an activity or just for relaxing in some of the free time. That space is available for those 10 students. They don't have to share that with all of the boarders. There's one per dormitory that we have. And it's also important for us to have good supervision. And so within each dormitory, there's 2 dorm parents that live there. That's really important, particularly at this developmental level, because faculty, the dorm parents who see the students, understand their regular routine, can look at a student in the morning and they wake up and say, "How did you sleep last night? You look like you didn't get a good night's rest," because they know the student really well. They have that sense of what that student's routine is like. And it's also helpful for children at this age to have a consistent basis of what to expect of the adults within their community. So that's the way sort of our residential life is structured in terms of those living quarters that they have. Our dorm parents, because our kids are younger, yes, they're going to help them with a variety of things that our secondary school students wouldn't need necessarily, right? Reminders about personal hygiene, reminders about changing your bedclothes, your sheets, helping to do laundry, and really giving students the skills to become more independent. So again, when they get to secondary school, they have all of those skills and they're really hitting the ground running, and in many ways are much better prepared than students who are coming to boarding school for the very first time in secondary school, right? Our junior boarding kids know the routines. They know how to do that and have that sense of independence already of what it means to live in a dorm and to live a little bit more independently away from mom or dad. Our weekend activities are a big part of our boarding life. At Bement, we do not have academic classes on Saturdays. We do provide ample time and set study time during the weekends for students to be well prepared for their classes for the coming week. But we also make sure that there is plenty of downtime for students. Much of it is structured. So students have maybe there's an activity that all of the boarders are going to do together, or maybe there's an activity that the boys are going to do, or there's 3 different activities that are happening and you get to choose one. We really want kids to be connecting with each other and participating in activities. We do know that kids need times to recharge though, and we will have some unstructured time where it is still supervised by a dorm parent, but there might be an hour and a half, maybe on a Saturday before breakfast, after breakfast, before lunch, where students can use that time as they wish. Maybe they're practicing their musical instrument. Maybe that's when they're calling home. Maybe they're watching a movie in the common room. So we do provide that sort of a little bit more of a downtime because not every student is ready to be go all the time. And I think that's an important balance to have in that residential life setting for our students. Yeah, I can remember a student a number of years ago who when she applied, we really thought she was a wonderful candidate for us, was on the younger side, was coming to us in the 6th grade, but it was a younger 6th grade student and really hadn't had the opportunity at her school setting to participate in things. She was from Korea and she was really excited about being here, but a little bit nervous. Her first time away from home, and it was going to be the first time that she was going to be participating in really serious athletics. She had swum, she had done some dance, but she had never really participated in a team sport before. And she was nervous about that and reluctant about it. And I remember she decided to try field hockey, and my daughter was on that team. My daughter was older than she was. And the older students tend to take the younger students under their wings and help mentor them. It's a fast sport, and she really struggled with it, but she stuck with it. And one day we needed a goalie, and she said, "I'll do it. I'll try that." And she had never tried that before. And I think that takes another level of courage to step into the goal of any sport. She did, and something clicked for her and she loved it. She became our top goalie. So she did it. She had an impact at Bement in terms of our field hockey team. But she then went on in secondary school and became very successful at a competitive school and a competitive field hockey team and being that goalie. And she had always said to me, I saw a side of myself that I never knew was there. To me, it demonstrates, I guess, a little bit of that magic that takes place for schools and that transformation that takes place for our students within our school communities.